is long and goes on to talk about the cover story, that if the plane were to be discovered on foreign soil, it was supposed to be a weather object, etc. However, the report ends with the following sentence. Even in such a case, however, the proposed policy for the US to stick to the weather research story, a course of action that would prove disastrous in 1960. The disastrous incident was an embarrassing situation for the US that happened during the Cold War. In 1960, the Soviet Union shot down one of the planes when it was spying in their territory. Initially, they acknowledged the incident as the loss of a civilian weather research aircraft operated by NASA, but were forced to admit the mission's true purpose when a few days later, the Soviet government produced a captured pilot and parts of the U-2 surveillance equipment, including photographs of Soviet military bases taken during the mission. The incident occurred during the presidency of Dwight D. Eisenhower and the premiership of Nikita Khrushchev, around 2 weeks before the scheduled opening of an East-West summit in Paris. Khrushchev and Eisenhower had met face-to-face at Camp David in Maryland in 1959, in the seeming thaw in U.S.-Soviet relations that had led people around the world to hope for a peaceful resolution to the Cold War. The U-2 incident caused great embarrassment to the U.S. and shattered the amiable spirit of Camp David that prevailed for 8 months, prompting the cancellation of the planned Paris summit. Alright, obviously at Area 51 they're testing a bunch of secret stuff. I think that makes sense. It makes sense that when you start testing, Project Aircraft UFO reports go up, that makes sense. The one thing I'm not understanding about all that is if you're testing the U-2 and airline pilots are noticing it and people on the ground are noticing it, why did they magically decide that it's good enough to fly over your biggest enemy's territory and spy on them, dude? If normal day-to-day Americans not looking for a spy or seeing this thing, then obviously the air defense that's scanning for this stuff is probably going to catch on that there's a plane up there, I know that's the whole point of making it. I'm sure we did it a bunch and didn't get caught, but overall, the whole spy plane thing kind of loses its luster when you realize Dan, the airline pilot, is reporting it in too. Anyways, guys, I do think that's going to do it for the video, though. I just thought this would be a fun topic. It's a little bit different than the stuff that I normally go over in the Reddit videos, so if you did enjoy it, I'd appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought, and of course, subscribe if you're new and turn on notifications. If you really want to help me out, I'll put a link to the intro song down below, along with a link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, or you could use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout, another great way to get a discount on G Fuel. Other than that, I do post some of my content on Spotify, so in the top of the description, there's going to be a link to my Spotify